Princess Charlotte's donning of Diana's tiara caused Queen Camilla to have a dramatic outburst, leaving everyone wondering what's actually happening behind closed doors. An invaluable part of Princess Diana's heritage is the Spencer Tiara, has caused an unexpected royal conflict. After already navigating a challenging royal life, Camilla now faces a conflict that could alter everything. Will Camilla's influence override Charlotte's claim to the tiara? What is the main focus of this spectacular royal confrontation? Come along as we investigate the true causes of Queen Camilla's startling outburst. Princess Charlotte's prospective tiara is making quite a stir behind palace doors, whether it is a royal heirloom or a sign of tension. It all stems from a royal rivalry that will never go away. The famous Spencer Tiara, which her grandmother, Princess Diana, wore on her wedding day, will be passed down to the little princess. Queen Camilla is apparently not overly happy about this, despite the fact that it should be a heartwarming family custom. The Spencer Tiara is not included in the official crown collection, in contrast to the majority of royal jewels. It has been handed down through the years and is owned by the Spencer family. Earl Spencer, Diana's brother, intends to pass the tradition on to Charlotte when she becomes older. It seems like a reasonable choice given that Charlotte is Diana's only granddaughter, but rumors around the palace indicate Camilla isn't pleased with the choice. Even at the age of 8, Charlotte is aware of her grandmother's legacy. According to reports, she adores the thought of owning something that used to belong to her and has seen photos of Diana sporting the gorgeous tiara. Charlotte likes to dress up with toy tiaras like many little girls, but this one is unique. It's a link to the grandmother she never had the opportunity to meet. Although Camilla allegedly thinks differently, Charlotte's family finds this to be a charming and meaningful gesture. According to some insiders, she feels that the tiara shouldn't be presented to Charlotte just yet and should instead stay in the Spencer family. Some people believe there is more to the story. Diana, Charles, and Camilla have a complex past. Therefore, everything related to Diana is still a touchy subject. The apparent double standard is causing even more eyebrows to be raised. Camilla has worn a number of Diana's antique jewelry pieces in public throughout the years. Many have criticized these appearances, asking why it's okay for Camilla to wear Diana's jewelry when Charlotte's inheriting her grandmother's tiara is such a problem. It goes without saying that the tiara represents more than just a piece of jewelry. In the royal family, it symbolizes a heritage that is still significant. Although Charlotte is still too little to completely comprehend the debate, she will probably come to understand the significance of what she will inherit as she gets older. However, the issue still stands. Given that the royal family is still heavily influenced by the past, how will Princess Charlotte manage this legacy? The tensions surrounding Diana's memory haven't diminished, especially when it's connected to Camilla, and her legacy continues to loom large even after all these years. A move taken by Queen Camilla in January 2022 infuriated royal followers. She created a brooch out of one of Diana's most well-known necklaces. Diana received the emerald and diamond necklace as a present from the Queen Mother, and it turned into one of her most famous outfits. The decision by Camilla to change the necklace felt particularly personal when she wore it as a choker while on tour in Australia. Given the complex past between the two ladies, it appeared to many to be a deliberate statement. People immediately reacted negatively, with royal observers describing it as disrespectful. What the jewels represented was more important than the stones themselves. This friction is partly a result of Charles and Camilla's contentious affair. Their relationship did not begin happily ever after. When Charles was married to Diana, it started as an affair. There was more to their past than rumors. For years, it influenced public perception of the royal family. People continued to compare them even after Diana passed away and Camilla was crowned queen. Thus, Diana's jewelry served as a reminder of the past whenever Camilla went out. Although royal jewels are frequently inherited, jewelry expert Maxwell Stone noted that this specific piece had significant emotional significance. A lot of people question why this necklace. Why now? Debates on whether this was a subtle power ploy or just bad judgment erupted on social media. Diana and Camilla never got along, and trust was never a factor in their relationship. Diana was unaware of Charles and Camilla's amorous history when she first met Camilla. Diana only found out after she had already consented to marry Charles, according to royal author Penny Junor. Imagine how shocked you would be to learn that the person who was being kind to you was once your fiancé and was still in control of him. Then the now famous lunch arrived. While Charles was gone on royal business, Camilla invited Diana to lunch, according to Andrew Morton's book. Initially, it appeared to be a harmless attempt to connect, but something didn't feel right. Asking if Diana would go hunting with Charles after they were married, Camilla continued to nudge the topic in that direction. Diana nonchalantly declined, showing no interest in hunting. She noticed Camilla's face light up with relief at that point. Diana became aware of the true situation at that precise time. Camilla was assessing her rivals, so this was more than simply small conversation. Diana subsequently acknowledged that Camilla had always played a supporting role in her marriage, and she was correct. Do you believe that your marriage's dissolution was caused in part by Mrs. Parker Bowles? It was a little packed because there were 3 of us in the marriage. However, what effects did Diana's unhappy marriage and its fallout have on the royal family? And why are we still enthralled with her legacy? The royal outlaw who made all the difference. Princess Diana left behind a legacy that is just as potent now as it was when she was alive. The Diana Princess of Wales died in a car accident in 1997, decades after her untimely death, and her boyfriend, Dodi Fayed, was also slain. One of the most adored royals in history is still her. Why? Because she took a different approach. She was a princess, a mother, and a devoted humanitarian. Diana didn't merely attend royal functions, smile for the cameras, and depart. She made sure to establish genuine connections with people, shattering previously unchallenged barriers. Diana made news by embracing patients during a period when AIDS was associated with fear and false information, demonstrating to the public that compassion could overcome fear. By holding the hands of leprosy sufferers, the princess, I believe, helped spread awareness of the disease just by shaking hands with the patients and not wearing gloves. Battle for the most vulnerable while walking across active minefields. She revolutionized the royal family's public relations, demonstrating that being a royal was about more than merely donning crowns and waving from balconies. It was about actually changing the world. However, Diana battled the demands of royal life underneath her idyllic exterior. She once confided in Brian Peckford, the Premier of Newfoundland, that it was too much to handle acclimating to the rigid regulations and demands of the royal family. But rather of allowing it to break her, she found strength in her charitable endeavors. She demonstrated her commitment to using her position for good by attending around 400 public engagements in a single year by 1991. Stephen Lee, the head of the UK Institute of Charity Fundraising Managers, referred to her as the most important philanthropist of the 20th century because of the impact of her efforts. Diana's impact is still evident in the royal family today. She has been likened to both Catherine and Meghan Markle, not only for their sense of style, but also for their interpersonal skills. Similar to Diana, they have broken down royal barriers through their jobs, giving the monarchy a more contemporary and approachable feel. It is evident that they have drawn inspiration from Diana's legacy, whether it is through their charitable endeavors or their pragmatic demeanor. Even though Diana is no longer among us, her influence cannot be denied. She brought humanity, compassion, and a closer bond with the people to the royal family, changing it forever. The fight for Diana's legacy and the princess with a golden heart still serve as inspiration for people all around the world. Whether royal treasures, such as jewelry, should be handed down through the monarchy without personal attachment has long been a topic of discussion. When Camilla wears jewelry that was formerly Princess Diana's, some people feel disrespected, while others claim it's only tradition. Some people believe it's just part of royal etiquette, while others feel it erases Diana's legacy. When Camilla wears items that Diana used to wear, the true drama starts. The division is evident at this point. Is it a tacit denial of Diana's enduring effect? Or is it just tradition? The Spencer Tiara, which Diana wore on her wedding day to Prince Charles, is one well-known item of jewelry connected to this debate. Many people thought Kate Middleton would wear the Spencer Tiara when she married Prince William in 2011, in honor of her deceased mother-in-law. But it wasn't even a possibility. The Spencer Tiara is not included in the Crown's collection, in contrast to many other royal jewels. It is owned by the Spencers, Diana's birth family. The Spencers made it apparent that the tiara would remain with them even after Kate married into the royal line. Diana's only granddaughter, Princess Charlotte, will not inherit it either. Rather, the tiara is anticipated to remain in the Spencer family by being inherited by Diana's nieces or cousins. However, This goes beyond the jewelry itself. What it stands for is important. Any decision pertaining to Diana's remembrance appears to spark debate since her legacy still carries so much weight. Any interaction Camilla has with Diana's personal belongings therefore causes friction. It's not all about the jewels or the crown. It has to do with what they represent. The depth of these disparities was demonstrated by a recent poll. Just 14% of respondents agreed that Camilla should be referred to as Queen Camilla. Nearly a quarter believe she should not have any royal title at all, and over a third preferred the moniker Queen Consort. This demonstrates how much more Camilla needs to do to be fully accepted by society. She was much more well-liked as the Duchess of Cornwall than she is now. But why, after all these years, does Camilla still encounter so much opposition? The transition of Camilla from Duchess to Queen is a challenging one. But what really made her notorious was her romance with Prince Charles. The world witnessed one of the most contentious love triangles in royal history before and during both of their first marriages. In 1973, Camilla wed Andrew Parker Bowles. Her relationship with Charles, however, never really ended. She got divorced in 1995 and married Charles in 2005. The church service at St. George's Chapel and their wedding at Windsor Guildhall were important events, but they also caused anxiety for a lot of people. There has always been controversy surrounding Camilla's history, particularly her relationship with Charles when he was still married to Diana. Because of the way she entered the royal family, some people find it difficult to accept her as the future queen. Diana's shadow still hangs heavy after all these years, and everything associated with her continues to stir up controversy among the royal community. A more serious problem is revealed by the debate over Camilla's title and her use of Diana's jewelry. The fight for acceptance among the general population and the royal family. But as Camilla solidifies her position in royal history, attention is being drawn to another person who continues Diana's legacy in a novel way. Will Princess Charlotte have a greater influence on the monarchy's future? Charlotte's prominence, Camilla's ascent. The world was rocked by Queen Elizabeth II's death on September 8, 2022. This is BBC News from London. The death has been announced by Buckingham Palace of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Her son Charles became King Charles III after her death, and his wife Camilla was made Queen Consort. Charles and Camilla were crowned together at Westminster Abbey on May 6, 2023, less than a year later. However, there is much more to Camilla's ascent to the throne than romance and scandal. She has developed her own public persona since 1994, concentrating on issues including encouraging literacy, fighting poverty, assisting victims of domestic violence, boosting awareness of osteoporosis, and supporting animal welfare. In her capacity as queen, Camilla speaks up for significant social concerns, supports a wide range of charitable organizations, and represents the monarchy at formal gatherings. Her transition from the other lady to the queen hasn't been without difficulties either. There is still disagreement among the public, and many people cannot forget her part in Princess Diana's tragedy. Even while not everyone is happy with Camilla's position, she has solidified her place in royal history despite this continuous dispute. There are some unexpected turns in the tale of Camilla and Charles's first encounter. When a mutual acquaintance met them in 1971, they clicked right away, but many royal insiders thought Charles had no real chance to marry Camilla at the time. The palace didn't think Camilla was fit for the royal position, Patricia Noble, his cousin, later disclosed. The two kept up their relationship in spite of these early setbacks, and in 2005 they formally announced their engagement. Charles's grandmother, the Queen Mother, had left him the engagement ring, a magnificent square-cut diamond with 3 lesser diamonds on each side. There was some debate about their path to marriage. Charles's marriage to a divorced lady was a very delicate topic for the future head of the Church of England, but the Queen, the government, and the Church all approved, formally establishing their partnership. Camilla's permanent membership in the royal family was immediately made apparent by Queen Elizabeth. She made it obvious that Camilla was here to stay by giving her the exquisite Greville tiara, which was part of the Queen Mother's collection. Although Camilla's ascent to the throne has generated controversy, Princess Charlotte and the younger generation now hold the real limelight in the royal family. Princess Charlotte, who was born on May 2, 2015, won the hearts of the country right away. Before the family relocated to Kensington Palace in 2017, Charlotte resided at Amer Hall in Norfolk. After attending Wilcox Nursery School, she went on to Thomas's Battersea, where she was lovingly referred to as Charlotte Cambridge, to join her older brother, Prince George. Charlotte is rapidly emerging as the royal family's rising star today. But everything changed in 2022. All three children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, transferred to Lambert School in Berkshire after William and Kate moved their family to Adelaide Cottage in Windsor. When Queen Elizabeth died that same year, Charlotte unexpectedly found herself third in line for the throne. Charlotte has already started taking on public responsibilities, even though William and Kate have tried to provide her with a typical upbringing. She meets ambassadors and goes to royal functions, and is gradually becoming familiar with the duties of a future king. Imagine, however, being 8 years old and knowing that you might become queen someday. Charlotte's reality is that Charlotte has another quality with her late grandmother Diana behind the glitz. She has the same innate appeal that made Diana so popular all over the world. She exudes warmth and confidence and is already demonstrating how to gracefully handle the demands of royalty. But like Diana, Charlotte is growing up in a family that is always surrounded by drama, especially with Camilla and the lingering conflict over Diana's legacy. William's engagement ring, a historical artifact that connects the royal family's past and future, represents the legacy of love and grief that permeates Catherine's ascent to fame. In what ways does this ring symbolize the next royal journey? The classic engagement ring. Giving Kate Middleton his late mother's engagement diamond was a very personal choice made by Prince William when he proposed to her. There are diamonds all around this 12-carat sapphire. Check it out. It's what kind of ring? Do you know everything there? I'm not an authority on it. I've been told with certainty that it's a sapphire with a few diamonds, but I'm sure everyone has seen it before. It was more than just a representation of his affection for Catherine, but also a nod to Princess Diana, his mother. William clarified that the reason the ring felt appropriate was that it symbolized his affection for Catherine as well as his emotional bond with his deceased mother. This ring's association with the royal family's Welsh gold legacy added to its significance. The gold's significance comes from its lengthy history and royal affiliation, even though it isn't very unique scientifically. When Prince Edward, the future king, was crowned Prince of Wales in 1911 in a lavish ceremony at Cernifon Castle, the royal family's association with Welsh gold was established. Welsh gold has since been utilized in significant royal occasions, such as Prince Charles's coronation in 1969 and William's proposal. Welsh gold is used to preserve traditions while advancing, in addition to serving as a remembrance of the past. William also gave Catherine a heartfelt present to commemorate the birth of their first child after they were engaged. The diamond bracelet represented their expanding family and their strengthening relationship. She now wears it with her wedding and engagement rings. Welsh gold is just gold that is mined in Wales, despite the fact that it seems like something unusual and valuable. Its royal connections are what give it its actual significance, and it has come to represent tradition in the family. The royal family still uses Welsh gold as part of their legacy, and despite its commonplace character, it has generated enthusiasm because of its historical relevance. One example of how the royal family blends sentiment with tradition is their usage of Welsh gold. In addition to paying tribute to his mother's memories, William carried on a long-standing royal custom when he proposed. What further royal gems with equally meaningful backstories may Catherine choose to wear? Engagement rings and wedding presents aren't the only jewelry in Catherine's collection. She owns several beautiful bracelets and other items with profound significance. Catherine wore identical stud earrings and a simple yet gorgeous diamond bracelet to one function. Her elegance was nicely represented in the minimalist style, classic and elegant, yet never ostentatious. Each item she dons narrates a different aspect of the royal family's past, her bond with William, and her position in this realm of customs and rituals. Catherine's father-in-law, King Charles, has given her some of her most cherished items. Charles gave Catherine a beautiful bracelet after she and William announced their engagement. Although it wasn't a particularly expensive piece, it was very sentimental. The bracelet consisted of 2 discs on a basic chain. William and Catherine's initials are inscribed on each. This act highlighted Catherine's position in the royal family and represented the strong affinity she had with Charles. Charles surprised Catherine with a stunningly expensive jewelry set in addition to the bracelet. It was worth approximately £90,000 and came with a ring, bracelet, and earrings crafted from different kinds of gold and diamonds. The royal collection was not the only source of these items. Catherine had them manufactured especially for her. She wore the bracelet during her first solo royal function in July, but she didn't wear the full set on her wedding day. It was a strong declaration of her willingness to assume her position and confidently represent the royal family. Some of the most recognizable tiaras in the royal collection are also part of Catherine's collection. The Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara is among her favorites, which she wore in 2016 to a state banquet. Princess Diana famously wore the pearl and diamond tiara, which was first made for Queen Mary in 1914. The Cartier halo tiara that Catherine wore on her wedding day is another noteworthy piece of jewelry. It was once possessed by Queen Elizabeth II, and it matched Catherine's wedding gown flawlessly. It also gave her entry as a future royal to royal touch. Catherine's strong connections to royal past are reflected in the tales behind her jewelry. She is not only beautifying herself when she dons an item from the royal collection or a gift from King Charles, but she is also establishing her own position within the royal family and establishing a connection to the past. Each object is more than just a valuable jewel, since it has a unique meaning. They stand for family, heritage, and love. Her path from a commoner to a member of one of the most renowned families in the world is constantly brought to mind by these compositions. The weight of those relationships will always be present in her jewelry as she continues to assume her royal duty. How do you feel about the relationship between Catherine and Camilla? Do you think their disagreements could be an indication of more serious problems? Or do you think the tension between them will soon subside? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment. For more, subscribe and share. Click the following video that appears on your screen as well. You like it?